It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Flipping back the calendar to highlight yesteryear's finest while exploring the vast archives in cinema history. This is the Movie Review Rewind podcast on Nashville Movie Dispatch.
Welcome back for another episode of the Movie Review Rewind podcast right here on Nashville Movie Dispatch. It's your boy, the host of the Movie Review Rewind podcast. I just forgot the name of the show. The EIC at Sobros Network, Big Natural Stoney Keeley. You can follow me on Twitter at Stoney Keeley. Collectively, we are at Sobros Network on all major social media platforms, and all of our work, reviewing film, lists, podcast, everything is up at NashvilleMovieDispatch.substack.com. Joined as usual by my co-host on the Movie Review Rewind podcast. He is a board member of the Music City Film Critics Association. He is a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association. He's our resident film critic, Mr. Big Shot himself, Brandon Vick. Brandon, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. Something smells like trash that's been sitting out in the sun for a few days.
Did you poot again?
No.
You didn't? Okay.
Nope. Let me check my Cookie Monster boxers.
Okay, that is you do that. I'm going to introduce our other friend here
Please
joining
do.
us. You might remember him from the Vix Flicks podcast where we talked about that musical Joker movie last fall. He's our buddy Brett. Brett, how are you doing today?
Howdy ho! You know, I thought that may come across as weird, and it's not, I promise. I thought since this is a movie review rewind that I could do a rewound character from around the time that this movie we're talking about today came out.
Oh.
I picked up on that. I was going to ask you, are you
Not
getting
me.
festive, contemporary with Shallow Hal?
Thank you. Getting in the spirit, yes.
So we're here to talk about Shallow Hal, and I did not even look up what year it came out before we started this podcast. Was it 2001?
Yes.
Was it?
2001, I believe.
Now I'm going to
I was
going to
say 2003, but that's probably right.
Well, don't worry, guys. Yeah, 2001.
It was back when everyone had a sense of humor.
Yeah, you could really make jokes back then.
You could really just make jokes and
just
at
openly,
anyone's expense.
Openly hate fat people.
Exactly.
It was acceptable in 2001.
And you know what? Not an ounce of embarrassment about it.
It was just a national pastime of the country.
Yeah, we're trying to make it. It's making a comeback. We're trying.
So if I understand the premise of this film correctly, it is trying to assert that fat people and disabled people deserve love.
That they're pretty too.
And that all pretty people are actually ugly on the inside.
Ugly and old and frail. That's correct.
Yeah.
So you might be wondering to yourself, why on earth would you guys subject yourself to rewatching Shallow Hal all these years later? But I promise you all, there's a very distinct reason that I will pass the baton to Brandon to start this little session of story time on the Movie Review Rewind podcast.
I have been giving my dear friend Brett shit since the day that I found out why he was not allowed to go see Shallow Hal in theaters all these years ago. And it was basically his father did not want him to go see this movie because of the themes of it.
I don't know that I ever really remember the reason why. Was that accurate, Brett? It was.
I think so, but I think watching it, and I guess I can say this on the front end, there were moments I was like, oh, that's the thing right there. I remember. But
listen, he never saw it.
No.
So he's going off previews.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, all right.
And I was thinking about this going in, like, was I allowed to see things that were worse than this? And the answer is yes. I'm
Yes.
sure that I was, because
Yeah.
other like PG-13 movies or whatever would have been along these same
That was
lines.
the one thing, is that it was PG-13. So I'm like, why wouldn't you? And of course, Jack Black and the Farrelly brothers from
At the
time, they
and
were
all
red
that.
hot.
Yeah.
I think that, because I remember this from the preview, and I remember it when I was watching it. There's a scene where, what's Gwyneth Paltrow's character's name? Whatever.
Rosemary.
Rosemary is getting undressed in front of him while he's in the bed.
And it's the panties.
And it's showing like from behind. And I remember that scene being in the previews.
Yeah.
And I think he saw that probably and was like,
my son ain't
that's
seeing
too
no
much.
fat ass. That's
well, but it was Gwyneth Paltrow.
oh well, that was a real surprise when you saw the movie then.
Yeah.
So-
So I think I think just thinking it was like over. I mean, it is sexualized, but more so even than it is, maybe.
Well, and I always thought, I remember like saying, we're like, oh, this movie's getting a bad rap because it's making fun of heavyset people. But the whole point is that, look at the inner beauty. It's not all about the physical appearance and everything. But I will I also want to go on record and say that it's watching this now, and I have not seen it in years and years and years. I would stand shoulder to shoulder with your father, and it has nothing to do with his reasons, but this is just a bad movie.
Just
and
no one should
almost
see it.
every aspect of that you would critique a movie, from performances to humor to even the whole message. Like, they don't even do a good job of showing you inner beauty. And I thought, God, this was I think we might all be in agreement, but I will tell you, there is no chance in hell I would watch it again.
Yeah, that was the last time I watched it. See, there's a line in the beginning of the film that Hal's dad tells him when he's on his deathbed, and he says something about find a woman with a good can and a great pair of tatas, and it'll put you in good standing with the Lord. And I remember thinking, like, that seems pretty off-putting to...
but in all fairness, that wasn't in the trailer.
It wasn't in the trailer.
Well,
I don't think.
And I do want to clarify, I don't think that it was anything about like this idea of like making fun of people for being overweight. I don't think any of that was the reason. I think it was this
You were
idea.
allowed to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that
McIntosh
it was...
family's fine with it.
I think that it was the idea of it being super
Too sexual.
sexualized or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. And
I don't think I ever knew that. I don't think
I
I
didn't,
ever. I don't think that was ever even brought up, or maybe I just didn't listen. And just to fit my narrative, I just thought, well, why can't we listen? Why can't a group of guys go to the theater and laugh at fat people? I just don't understand it, and I could not fathom it.
what more like pure and virtuous form of fun was there in 2001?
Exactly.
I saw there were some fun Letterboxd reviews. One of them said this was the second worst thing to happen in the fall of 2001.
I'm glad you said that, because I saw that too, but was a little bit hesitant to say it out loud on this podcast.
Man.
But
Yeah.
I was entertained by it too.
But then there was another one that, like, somebody said, wow, the cinematography and editing, like from a filmmaking aspect, this was a very clean, perfect film. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
No,
We're breaking down
I don't
Shallow
believe
Hal
that.
like it's Scorsese or something.
Yeah.
well,
No.
like any social media, there are people on Letterboxd that shouldn't be allowed to have the internet.
Yeah, touche. So I remember at the time there was some pushback on this film for it being so misogynistic, and I mean it really is just, I mean, they really hammer home, like, if you're a fat person, you're basically a piece of shit and you deserve to get insulted every time you leave the house. You're gonna, at 300 pounds, you're gonna break every piece of furniture you sit on.
You're going to order 5 different pounds of something at a thing. But you know what the best part is? The one who probably is the most insulting is Jason Alexander.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, ain't no treat to look at himself.
No,
And has a fucking tail.
a literal tail.
Well, and Jack Black. I mean,
That's true. Well, that's
Yeah.
true. But here's the thing. You almost kind of fall into Jack Black's charm, even though he is Shallow Hal. But I don't know. I can't even imagine Gwyneth Paltrow, who's already won the Oscar by now, right? Actually, almost hot off the Oscar from Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah.
I don't know how you read something like that and think, And then
She said she regrets doing it since.
everyone should. Can I tell you? And let me tell you what she probably regrets the most. When they finally reveal the real Rosie, that is some of the worst makeup I have ever seen. They have no chin.
No.
They made her look so worse. That was awful.
I fear that I'm falling into I'm going against the point of what the actual good part of what they were trying to say in this movie. But who wore it better, her or Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor?
Nutty Professor was a lot more believable.
Yeah.
When they would turn her in, this is the worst part. And I don't know if you guys noticed it, but you could tell that it was mainly a suit with makeup because the way her hands are in the where that suit is like her hands. So there's no prosthetics or anything. So it's like these little hands where it's almost like they just shoved her in this couch cushion thing, and they thought that was good enough.
I actually didn't recognize that, and I might go back and watch it just
You
so I
should.
can see
It was funny.
It reminded me of Kristen Wiig's thing.
The tiny
little
hand.
doll. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Because when she's talking to him, it's her hands, but she looks like they put 6 pillows in her thing. I'm like, this is so embarrassing.
Can I ask an opening question? Because I do have the unique perspective of I watched this for the first time in 2025.
Yeah.
And so
Fire
there's
away.
a lot of things that I was just making notes of curiosities as I went through it. Here's my main question. In 2001, you both saw this, right? When it came out?
Yes.
Was this funny then?
I'm going to say I had a generally favorable approach to the film.
Okay.
Feelings about I thought it was funny. For the record, I was 15 years old.
Yeah, let's start saying that we're too stupid to realize.
I loved Jack Black. I thought he was one of the funniest people on earth. And I probably found myself thinking as a dumbass teenager, wow, that's, it's really funny, but it has a great message about inner beauty. And I could see myself thinking that as an idiotic teenager, but I definitely had a favorable impression of it.
I'm going to say yes because I bought the DVD.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that speaks for itself
Now,
then.
I sold it, I think, maybe at a Sobro's yard sale or something, so I haven't had it in a long time. In case someone's trying to cancel me, I haven't had it in years. But yeah, I think Farrelly Brothers, you think that they're cool, and Jack Black and Gwyneth Paltrow, and to Stoney's point, I think I think in our minds at the time, it's like, man, they're really kind of, adding some depth that it's not about physical appearance or anything like that. And this is one of the best cases of sometimes you're just young and dumb.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't have the pushback. I could so see if I was 40 years old in 2001 and looked at that and think, you've got to be kidding me that Farrelly Brothers think that this is funny enough.
I did.
sure.
I did wonder that from a cultural standpoint. Did people think? I mean, we're making fun of it. It's a bad movie, but
Yeah.
but they were trying to say something about the way we see people. And in 2001, was this generally accepted as oh yeah, we should? I mean, you guys are saying there was pushback. I don't remember that much of that.
There was
but
controversy to it.
But it was only after people had gone to see the film, right? I mean, it had been out for a couple of weeks, and then the group started forming saying it's misogynistic, it's not right, all this stuff. And
which, I mean, it's right there in plain sight. I mean, really, it's not. I mean, they're not trying to hide it or anything. I think it's just one of those that it is 2001. I think that they think that their attempt is good enough, but a lot of their jokes, which I'll be honest, a lot of stuff is not that funny to me.
No.
But if it was, it's usually at the expense of they're mainly talking about ugly and fat people. They're not talking about anybody else in that. And I still I chuckled because I'm supposed to believe Jack Black and Jason Alexander on
being
that,
ladies' men.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that they can totally get these hot chicks.
I did laugh at Jack Black's dance moves in the club.
But I don't think he's changed a thing. I think that's how he did.
Yeah, I think that's
I will
for
say
sure.
I did laugh at some of Jason Alexander's things. I mean, they were mean, but the way that sometimes he would like the things he would use to describe, it was funny, but also like it's Jason Alexander. Like I couldn't get past that.
I got to thinking about that. I mean, what else? He's known from Seinfeld, obviously.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember a single other thing that he did.
I'm
going to defer to you on this one, Brandon.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't really know much, but I do remember him being in a pretty famous movie. I think before Seinfeld, but I couldn't tell you what it is. I'd have to look it up.
It just seems like an odd,
but not really.
Seems a little out of place
in this instance. I think it's definitely like, here's Cooler George in this movie. Like that was the billing kind of like.
But he's friends with Hal.
Pretty Woman. He was in Pretty Woman.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
He looks like he's like 10 years older than Hal. So there's like I don't know. The whole dynamic was weird.
While we're talking about him, and his name's Mauricio, by the way. I mean, that's a thing too.
That also seems offensive in a lot of ways.
But as the movie went on, I was like, oh, this is a bit, because they pointed out at the end. His fake hair is so bad that at first I thought it was just really bad makeup from 2001, because they never really pointed out. And then at the end, he starts like losing some of it and they comment on it. But at first I thought that was kind of like the tiny hands thing that y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I remembered, is that it showed he had all these opinions about people, which to Farrelly Brothers credit, I guess, is that somebody who's calling out all of these kind of imperfections on people, and then he, like, not only is his hair, but he has a tail. I mean, I do think, obviously that is intentional.
To me, the tail was the most memorable thing about this movie. It was like, that's
funny.
The movie where Jason Alexander has a tail.
Jason Alexander is also in Dunstan Checks In. How dare you?
We need to talk about that.
I do
movie.
remember him in that, actually.
That's another one we need to revisit to see if we like it as 40-year-olds.
And Blank Man.
Blank Man, there we go.
So he's done good. He was in Coneheads.
He's had a good career. Good for him then.
Jacob's Ladder.
Got to make Shallow Hal.
Yep. Wow, good for him.
Do you guys think that this movie would be memorable at all if not for the controversy and the backlash that it faced?
No, it would only be remembered in the way we remember it now, and just how awful it was, and what could you possibly have read that made you think, oh, this is meaningful stuff here. This is funny.
Would it be memorable in the way that we remember it as the movie I wasn't allowed to see as a teenager?
That's the only reason it's stuck in my mind.
That's true. That's true.
That and is it Sleep Night?
Sleepover, yeah. Which we're gonna rewatch as grown men.
That's the only reason
next.
that's the only reason I remember this one as much.
I would almost put money on that rewatching Sleepover, I will enjoy it more than Shallow Hal.
I think I will too.
I think I will too. Yeah.
And I remember hating Sleepover because some brother dances in high heels or something, and I thought it was so stupid. But honestly, I have a feeling when we come back, I'm going to say, you know what? Sleepover and The Brutalist.
Yeah. 1A, 1B.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun episode. Look forward to that one. But yeah, I mean, you guys might be right. Like, we have a very personal story, an inside joke that's been going on for, at this point, 24 years about this film. There are people that might be pressing play on this podcast that are just like, I don't remember what Shallow Hal is at all.
Go watch it.
Yeah,
I dare you.
Even better, pay $3.99 for it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, he paid for it too.
Yes.
We were watching it. I have not seen Wicked yet, and my wife loves it. It's one of her favorite films that she's
don't get bread over here.
She's seen in a while, and
big Wicked stan over here.
Yeah,
we were a peek behind the curtains. This episode's going to be released quite some time since we've recorded it. We're recording this before our annual Oscars live stream. So the night before the Oscars, my wife wants to show me Wicked, and I'm like, I got to watch Shallow Hal because we're doing a podcast on it.
Take that.
I'm like, I got to, make my notes, find some things to talk about, and make sure that I rewatch it so it's fresh so we can have a good episode. We get
That's called dedication to the craft, by the way.
Thank you. We get maybe 20 minutes into the movie, and we're
Is
in
this Shallow Hal or Wicked?
Shallow Hal.
Okay,
Shallow Hal.
Just checking.
Shallow Hal won over Wicked. And my wife, we've been silent the whole time, just watching the film.
Mm.
My wife rolls over and said, "You picked this over Wicked."
Mm.
And then
Yeah, I
she
get
said,
it.
"I'm going to sleep," and literally just rolled over. And a few minutes later, I heard her snoring and was like, "I'm on my own here for the rest of this movie."
My wife was reading on her phone, and every now and then she would just say, "This is so stupid."
She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong.
No.
And when I did laugh, I would just be like, "Oh man, 2001 humor, alive and well."
Can we, Brett? Did you watch this one alone, or did you watch this one with your wife?
I effectively watched it alone. I watched it on my phone yesterday morning while my kids were playing video games in the room next to me. I, at points, was like making breakfast for them as it was going on next to me. I mean, that's how I made it through at points, was to be doing something else simultaneously.
But you didn't get to see it on the big screen, huh?
No, I am sad that in 2001 I missed it on IMAX, but
oh yeah. And they had a rosy popcorn bucket you could buy.
It's just
Oh man.
what I'm hesitant
It was
to
just
ask
her
this.
tits.
What did it?
It was just her tits. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
Yeah. With little hands right next to it where you can
Okay,
pick it up
yeah.
with the handles.
just tits with little hands on
Tits
them.
with little hands.
Makes perfect sense.
It says Shallow Hal at the bottom.
What do we make of the idea that this whole thing was put into motion because of a chance encounter with Tony Robbins in an elevator?
Oh, is that real?
Tony Robbins had
Oh, in the movie.
In the
I thought
movie.
you meant that's how this came about. I'm like, excuse me? That was real?
The Farrelly brothers bumped into
Ran
Tony
into-
Robbins, and he
yeah,
was like,
ran-
"Hey, I got this idea for a movie where."
I don't really respect Tony Robbins either.
Damn.
Sorry. I think he's a bit of a sham, but
I don't know if that's a stray that he's catching. That may just be a direct shot, but you're
What?
going in on Tony Robbins there.
There's some stuff that came out about him a few years ago that made me kind of question what he's built his reputation on. But I mean, he's still selling books and shit, I guess.
Can we do like a 10-part series on Tony Robbins, like a dramatic
Yes.
podcast?
There's a
about that?
documentary that was pretty good, but then I want to think something came out within this Me Too movement, and then it started getting into kind of the things that he was doing and sort of like practice what you preach, but he wasn't really doing it. I don't know. Maybe he started off great and maybe he's gone downhill. I don't know.
I do have an important Tony Robbins question, which, by the way, I liked my note was Tony Robbins was the fairy godmother in this. Like,
Yes.
he
He
plays that
He is.
figure in
But
this.
what I like is all it takes is Jason Alexander to go up to him, and then he's like, well, I mean, if it hurts him at his job, like,
Yes.
I mean, it's I mean, go figure, I guess. It reminds me of Adam Sandler's cameo stuff, like with Shaq. Like they get this on like famous person that's really shouldn't be an actor, but he is. I just feel like Farrelly Brothers just tried to do it.
My question is, and I feel like this is the reason people listen to this kind of thing. There was another like guru that was like a health and fitness guy that I feel like his name was Tony too, who had a ponytail.
Yeah, with long blonde.
What's
always
his
had a
last
cap.
name?
I don't know, but he had.
Because that's
a
who I
blonde-
thought Tony Robbins was
No,
until I
but
watched
he,
this
he was
movie.
always on those elliptical machines.
Yes,
and he had a
yes.
ponytail through a cap.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say Richard Simmons.
Richard
God
Simmons.
rest his soul.
Yeah. Oh, did he die?
Yeah, but Tony, it is a Tony something. But he was always on those ellipticals.
Yes, that's who
I
I
don't
thought
know.
Tony Robbins was until I saw this.
Tony Robbins is the great Khali's cousin.
Do you think he was like, yeah, I'm only going to do this film if you talk about how big my hands and feet are,
Right.
and make sure it's implied that I have a massive
dick. If you could throw that in along with
then I'll be your fairy
fat
godmother.
suits, fat suits and little hands. I would
Say
appreciate
something
it.
about banana hands several
Yeah.
times throughout the script.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get into what probably made me the most pissed?
Well, of course. Yeah.
Almost not have I seen this since 88 Minutes, which is an old Al Pacino movie. Jack Black's hair through this movie changes, and it's so stupid. But I want to know who was keeping up with continuity, because there's times where he has his hair slicked like Vince McMahon, and then there's times where it's shaggy and combed over, kind of what we're used to seeing. And then it seems like it was kind of a mixture between the two. And then it seemed like it's like, then when we go back towards the end, did it look like what it was at the beginning when he was at the bar? Like, it was so stupid that I would turn to my wife and I'm like, what are they doing with his fucking hair? Because from scene to scene, like, it was pretty like straightforward. And then all of a sudden, I remember when they go on that trip with, what's his name, who's crawling around and stuff?
His friend.
But like, his hair is totally different. It's almost like he got his hair cut and then they had to reshoot stuff, but they're like, oh, we'll just comb it to the side a little bit. It really bugged the hell out of me.
It's almost like they just didn't pay attention to any of the details for this movie.
I'm starting to think this wasn't a well-made movie.
And if you go back, I made a note of this. You can go back to the office scene at the very beginning of the film when Jack Black is talking to his Tenacious D bandmate and the woman in the office.
Yes. Yeah.
Jack Black, when it's showing him, it sounds like he's coming through a microphone. But when the other two talk, it sounds like somebody just put like a Yeti Blue on the table and press record, and they're coming through. It is the most jarring thing. And like, I see that and I'm like, it just pisses me off when I go on Letterboxd and I see somebody say, from a technical standpoint, this is a very well-made, beautifully shot film.
Also,
I'm like, no, this is awful.
Why wouldn't people take offense when that one scene where they're celebrating his promotion and Rosie takes half the cake and eats it like a pizza?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
like
why wouldn't people like be like, come on, guys, like, quit being assholes.
This is what a fat person would do.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Oh, yeah. Every time they come in, they take about 5 pounds of cake and walk out and be like, you want a plate?
Yeah.
We talked about this, but I don't know that there's a version of this movie that you make that's that much better. But I think there's a version of the story that's done better than this.
Yeah.
Like it's called The Whale.
Well, or one of my notes was, is this Shrek? Like, is this movie
Shrek?
Is well,
yeah.
I mean,
prejudice and everything.
He sees her as she truly is, and you know this whole like transformation thing,
true.
And
that also came out in 2001.
It did, yeah.
So so I guess you could say that Shallow Hal is a live action Shrek.
Live action Shrek.
Well, in that case, I'm going to buy the DVD again.
But things like eating half the cake or ordering 4 hamburgers at the restaurant, like
chugging the biggest flipping milkshake God's ever made.
Again.
And breaking, like you said, breaking every furniture. And one of them was like, what's this made of? He's like, steel.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel. I also like that while the discovery of who Rosie really is, when Jason Alexander kind of breaks the hypnotizing part, that the waitress is just a man dressed up as a woman. I'm just like, it's just so lazy. It's so lazy.
There is maybe one profound moment in this movie.
If you've got one, I would like to hear it.
Okay.
I bet you I know what it is, but go ahead. Let me see if we...
The friend who has spina bifida, that was the only part that I laughed. They said something about, this isn't the profound moment, and maybe I shouldn't have even laughed at that, but they said something about him like crawling around like in a very derogatory way, and he was like, he has spina bifida. Like, I didn't laugh at that.
Yeah.
But this stood out to me. Everybody that he sees when he's hypnotized by Tony Robbins is beautiful, men or women. Lee Boy, the other guy, that guy always stays the same because he was ugly on the inside too. Oh. So that's the part that actually stood out to me as like, oh, that was actually kind of clever.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way because Jason Alexander doesn't change either.
But he's ugly too.
He's ugly too, yeah.
Bingo. I see. So well, and I guess part of it is because of the women. I guess his being a womanizer, even though he has that.
Yes.
It makes sense.
It does.
How many stars do you add to it for that?
I thought you were going to say when he talks to the little girl that actually was burned.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I actually thought that was even unnecessary, because you can't make a shit story like this and then try to gain some kind of
Squeeze those
emotional
moments
points
in.
because of a little girl. I thought that was actually even worse than just, not even including it at all. So that didn't work for me.
So before we get on out of here, this episode,
This has been fun. It started with me blaming my good friend's father to, I wish I would have known then what I know now.
What do you guys think is the best Farrelly Brothers movie?
Oh, I've got I was actually going to visit this and say they are goated in my book, regardless of this, because of Dumb and Dumber.
Same here.
Yeah, me too.
And looking at their filmography, Shallow Hal feels like the first crack in the armor. Whereas like things really kind of go south. After Shallow Hal, they do Stuck on You.
Bad.
Fever Pitch. I did not realize that was a Farrelly Brothers movie.
That.
I didn't either.
The Heartbreak Kid.
I didn't like that one, the Ben Stiller movie.
I liked Hall Pass.
Hall Pass was fine.
The Three Stooges.
That was...
And Dumb and Dumber 2.
Right, and that wasn't even
Unforgivable.
So basically, Dumb and Dumber.
And Peter and Bobby have gone off and done their own things. Peter obviously gaining, I guess you would call it, notoriety again for Green Book and that kind of being...
He won an Oscar.
Yeah, he won an Oscar. But
people don't think that movie should have won shit, but he did win. Peter
was also the director for Ricky Stenicki, The Greatest Beer Run Ever, Champions in recent years. Not a great track record since those early days, man. They were on a run, starting with Dumb and Dumber in 94, Kingpin in 96, There's Something About Mary in 98, and then Me, Myself, and Irene in 2000. Also, I did not realize that they did Osmosis Jones.
Dumb and Dumber and There's Something About Mary will keep them...
Yeah.
Getting opportunity.
But also I was just going to say in my heart of... Those are still some of the best comedies ever made, but they clearly have lost their touch.
It's almost like a 90s Adam Sandler or maybe Jim Carrey run of like just knocking it out of the park over and over and over, and then all of a sudden something happens and it's not that anymore. It was called
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
I mean, you think about it, like Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, There's Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene over the course of 6 years. That... it's no wonder that they started to get that billing as like, the latest comedy from the Farrelly Brothers.
Oh, yeah. You put directors of 2 of those 3.
Shallow Hal was... Shallow Hal and Stuck on You back to back was kind of
I remember hating
boy.
Stuck on You. That was so... that was tough to sit through. This Shallow Hal experience has changed my life forever, because I have a feeling I probably can go and watch all the other Farrelly Brothers stuff after Shallow Hal and think, damn, why haven't they been nominated more?
Yeah, for real.
Who was with Matt Damon in Stuck on You? Who was
Greg
the other?
Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear. Yeah.
Okay.
And Cher was in it.
Do you guys want to take a guess of what Shallow Hal is on Rotten Tomatoes?
I already know, so I won't say.
Brandon, do you want to take a guess?
I'm going to say 38.
49.
That's too high.
That is too high.
That's almost even. Wow.
I gave it 1 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
I think that's about where I'd be.
That is 20%. So
yeah, that's about 1.5 maybe, because Jason Alexander had a tail.
This
Maybe.
that is 1 star. The popcorn meter is actually lower for this, 45%. I cannot fathom that audiences were lower on this than the critics were.
Is it newer though?
It could be, yeah. I mean, I'm
just curious.
There's only 134 reviews on here.
Oh, well, that's it. Yeah, well, I bet most people probably watched it and thought, I don't even want to write about it. Forget it.
I'm going to look through some of the fresh reviews. Romantic comedy is pretty tame for the Farrelly Brothers. A sweet romantic comedy that rises above its moments of lowest common denominator humor to offer a positive message about love and perception.
I don't think it does as good of a job as people think or remember.
No. And I was going to say, I think you said this earlier. We can recognize the problems. We don't have to do a deep dive on that. But one thing that stood out to me, again, seeing it for the first time, is even in the movie, through the framework of the movie, the ugly people who are beautiful in his eyes once he's under this spell, he still is only attracted to them because of their physical beauty. He's not learning in that instance to appreciate the people for who they are.
But I feel like they just chalk it up to the end where he finally does see her for who she is and acts like he's his breath has been taken away of how beautiful she really is. And the thing is, Jack Black can't get the women he wants.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe in real life, but not this.
I do have a burning...
It almost makes me not like Jack Black in real life. That's how much this has affected
But
me.
I was thinking Jack Black just keeps rolling because he did the Mario movie, which I'm just thinking like for the next generation, my kids love, and they are busting at the seams to see the Minecraft.
Are they old enough for School of Rock yet? Do you think?
Maybe. They would probably like that.
That was one that we just
oldest
showed.
One might be.
My nephew a couple of years ago, when he was 10, so it was 2023, we showed him School of Rock because he was starting to get into really liked all the old bands, Nirvana and stuff from the 80s and stuff like that, Guns N' Roses. And so we showed him School of Rock and he just loved it for that summer. And then after that was just like, I think too old and cool for this now. But
they appreciate Nacho Libre, which feels like a similar of age range between those two.
I want to know, to bring this full circle, when will you let your children watch Shallow Hal?
Better yet, answer that.
I won't because it's so bad. Because it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
Better yet,
they'll think something's raunchy or there is nudity, and they'll find out no, it's just a shitty movie.
Yes,
that's all.
Yes.
When are you going to force your father to watch this?
This is a good question.
Yeah.
Maybe we can watch it on the way to Metallica.
Yeah, on your phone. On your phone.
Yes. I do have one burning pop culture question, which this may not be a good lasting impression for this movie.
No. Okay.
So, Along Came Polly famously introduced the term shark into pop culture.
I was going to say, yeah.
Did this movie introduce cankles?
I caught the same thing. I'm glad you brought that up because that was I don't know. I think it could have been. It could have been.
I don't think so. Excuse me.
There was another. You need to go take a nap.
I'm bored. Again, I mean, I guess I knew the term before they said it, but I mean, you knew what it was. And I guess if you base that off of like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Along Came Polly, like I had never heard that term.
Yeah.
That something like that had a name.
Yes. Yeah. That literally, I think, changed the three of our lives.
Yeah.
Hearing him say
and
that.
And who knows, you could still do it at our age now. It makes sense. I felt bad for him.
Actually do it. Yeah.
I felt bad for him because I'm like, oh, this is what he's talking about. Well, that's one of the best. We just watched that not too long ago, and I miss Hoffman.
Yeah, one of the greats. What a way to
shout out to Philip Seymour Hoffman on a Shallow Hal podcast. But
any
on a good note.
Any parting thoughts, Brett? Any final words that you would like to say? Final questions you would like to pose about Shallow Hal before we get on out of here?
I just want to note again. Don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing. The nice restaurant is called Macintosh's.
Oh yeah,
maybe I can get my dad to watch based on that.
That's true. I just am glad to clear up this confusion we've had for over 2 decades, and the fact that we can all sit here in agreement today is fantastic.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This episode felt like closure.
Yeah.
After all these years.
Yeah.
This inside joke between us. Now we can air it all out.
The world is healing.
The world is healing. That's going to do it for us here on the Movie Review Rewind podcast. As a reminder, you can check out all of our work at Nashville Movie Dispatch. That is on Substack at nashvillemoviedispatch.substack.com. Our movie annual from the year 2024 is still available on Amazon. Just go on there, search Nashville Movie Dispatch. You can search Brandon's name, you can search my name, and it should pop up. Until next time, for Brett, for Brandon, I'm Stoney. And you stay classy, moviegoers.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.